I've got a higher power on my side.
You mean?
Even higher than that.
When talking about how much in shambles the movie industry is in right now, the most obvious examples that come to mind are Disney, Warner Bros, and Netflix for reasons that I've been probably told to you a million times. But the one example I've barely heard any conversations about is Paramount. And I don't mean just the studio itself, I mean all of Paramount. CBS, MTV, Comedy Central, and yes, Nickelodeon as well. Some people are still gonna call it Viacom CBS, but whatever.
That is one of the shittiest merge names I've ever seen.
Aside from brand recognition and iconic releases, I don't see anyone talk about Paramount anymore. I mean, yeah, since they are a very historic name in the industry, they do get bunched together with the other major studios, but rarely do I ever hear a peep about how Paramount is doing nowadays. And well, let's just say they've been struggling for a long time now. Much longer than you think. Today I'd like to talk about what's been going on with the company, why they're currently in the state they're in, and how eventually they're gonna become as washed as the Miami Dolphins. Yes, I have been watching a lot of football, why do you ask? Not because I want to be a doomer, but because I think their situation deserves more attention. This is based on the information we currently have, and by currently I mean January 2025, so please keep in mind I have no idea how well this is gonna age, but these are just my guesses of the future. I'm not a psychic as much as I want to be. Bear with me because this is gonna be one hell of a mountain to climb. Thank you, I'm here all night. As I just alluded to, Paramount is the least popular of the major movie studios, and the numbers don't lie. From 2002 onwards, with the exception of 2007, 2011, 2022 when they were on top, Paramount is the distributor that has taken up the least theatrical market share. Obviously, it's not to say every single movie they put out has done poorly, but rarely do you ever see a huge hit from them anymore. Even some of their big hits aren't owned by them. Remember the distribution deals they had with Marvel and DreamWorks? From 2006 to 2011, these two were carrying the studio on their backs. It's because of those deals they got to release the first two Kung Fu Pandas, How to Train Your Dragon, and yes, most of the first phase of the MCU. Then whoa, Marvel got bought by Disney and DreamWorks pulled out of the deal, so back to bottom you go. But even then, they barely made any money from the movies with them only having an 8% cut in profits. The issue also extends to the television business, where it was recently reported that it suffered a $6 billion loss alongside the company shutting down one of their TV studios. And there's also how the company no longer sees their most recognizable cable channels as core other than CBS? Why is this happening? Well, excluding obvious reasons like the lack of originality and declining cable numbers, since I'm pretty sure that can apply to all of Hollywood, I think a big factor into why Paramount is in the state it's in is because... oh, how do I put this? Modern Paramount is just... kinda lame, not gonna lie. I mean, aside from some really good stuff, most of what's currently offered is just nothing noteworthy. Back then, we got Forrest Gump, Interstellar, Top Gun, The Truman Show, Titanic technically. Okay, but Freedom Writers also goes so hard, why does nobody talk about it? What do they even have nowadays? Well, the Sonic movies are awesome. I heard good things about Top Gun Maverick. They got a new Mission Impossible. The director of La La Land made a film with Brad Pitt and Tobey Maguire in it. No, I guess. A children's film from John Krasinski? Damn. A new Gladiator? Okay, how about this? Robbie Williams as a monkey.
Oh, forget it.
If you thought that was bad, again, look at the TV side of things. Nickelodeon has devolved into a SpongeBob channel with their history of being complacent and diddling kids and still being creepy. MTV isn't even about music anymore. Comedy Central only has 2 original shows that people even talk about. Paramount Network is only recognized for whatever Yellowstone is. I don't recall anybody watching CBS outside of the news, Christmas specials, and football. BET is on the verge of getting sold off, also one time they did this. Like, God, it's evil. And the rest of the channels under the company just exist, some without a purpose. And this is a leading cause as to why Paramount as a whole isn't talked about as often as before. They're barely giving people anything to watch. I'm not gonna argue quality because I admittedly haven't watched a lot of these movies and shows, but there doesn't seem to be much in their modern library that's considered eye-catching, and the ones that actually look like they're worth watching were horribly marketed to the point where they flop. Of course, like any big studio, it means they're gonna learn all the wrong lessons from such and think it means go full IP, baby! Even then, they don't have that many franchise-worthy IPs in their pockets, and sometimes they have to work with other companies to get one with varying results. The only IPs they have that are currently successful franchises, as far as I'm aware, are SpongeBob, Star Trek, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, South Park, Mission Impossible, though it's just movies at this point. Garfield? Yeah, it's a very short list and not a groundbreaking one to say the least. Transformers, Sonic, Paw Patrol, and now the Smurfs for some reason, all licensed out. Again, I'm not gonna say everything they make nowadays sucks, but for such an iconic brand, there's a small amount of movies or shows that garner interest for current Paramount, IP or not. I'm sounding like a broken record, so I'm just gonna move on to my next point. Initially branded as CBS All Access before the then-named Viacom CBS took over, Paramount Plus joins in the footsteps of Disney Plus and Max in being the home for everything under the Paramount umbrella. Or almost everything. So, let's pretend I didn't just do that previous segment. Let's say Paramount's library is worth creating an entire streaming service over and consumers are expecting a buttload of stuff on there. Or should I say, a mountain of entertainment. In fairness, there is a good amount of content on the service. They have a large number of Paramount films, all of Nickelodeon, never mind, classic Comedy Central, CBS and MTV shows, and also live sports. That may not sound bad, but compared to its competitors like Netflix, Disney Plus, and Max, actually, wait, I mean Prime Video? No. Apple? Never mind, I hate modern streaming services anyway. Compared to its competitors, Paramount Plus is small. Maybe the big names they have on there are enough to decently carry it, but scouring through the rest of the service is like going through a garden with only a quarter of the plants being alive. Not to mention, many big titles under the wing are just missing as well. Not that it's an uncommon practice for streaming services, but having so many memorable titles be absent from the platform for no other reason than it's just a cycle is so baffling. If there's a title owned by Paramount that isn't on Plus, at best they're on the fast service like Pluto, which is coincidentally owned by the same company, or at worst they're on another service entirely that you probably don't have, or you have to buy them digitally, or physically if you're smart. Okay, so let's ignore the catalog thing for a brief moment. Surely it's functionable enough to actually watch all of these shows and movies, right? Of course, and Drake still makes good music. I guess a proper way to do this part of the segment is to tell it from personal experience. I got a month-long free trial of Paramount Plus back in October of last year just to watch Smile, but ended up also binging My Life as a Teenage Robot and Knuckles. First thing I should note, this was an ad-supported tier. I feel like it would have been a better offer if I got the ad-free tier for a month free instead, plus the idea of having to pay extra for no ads makes me want to break my own neck, but whatever. Fine. I'll deal with it. Immediate problem I notice is that the commercials are loud as hell.
Oh, you deserve an upgrade. Alright. Treat yourself to the commercial-free experience by switching to the Paramount Plus premium plan.
See how quiet that is? And let's see what the volume level of my TV is, just so I can hear it. 67. I normally have this on 12, so I can hear TV shows.
I don't know if this was like an audio level problem when importing the video files, but since I used the app mostly on my TV, I had to turn down the volume whenever the commercial started and turn it back up when they ended. First world problems, but man was it annoying.
I swear to God, if I have to see another commercial for that looking live action Loud House show.
There's also that the player is half broken with an occasional inability to fast forward or rewind. The continue watching feature is almost non-existent, it buffers a lot, and there were instances when watching on my TV that after a few episodes of Teenage Robot, nothing would play after the ads. And as you can see from some of the screenshots I just showed, I'm not the only one who experienced these issues. It's why, with a small amount of content and loads of technical problems, that Paramount Plus is not popular. It's actually one of the least subscribed major streaming services in the already crowded market, just above Hulu and Peacock. I assume even Paramount knows how unpopular the service is, because the company has been working with Netflix to produce some originals like Fairly Odd Parents: A New Wish and the national travesty that is the Sandy Cheeks movie, though I already have a video on it, please watch it, I desperately need views. And with analysts suggesting that the service should just shut down altogether, it's clear that Paramount Plus is just going to continue to exist until the day everyone stops giving a shit and it just vanishes. But no need to worry, it's merged with Showtime now. No? It'll come with your Walmart Plus subscription. Given the company's current situation with the circumstances I just talked about, Paramount being bought out by another company, while very, very, very unfortunate, was inevitable. As far as I'm aware, talk of Paramount being up for sale began earlier this decade, and the first option that would become their final choice was Skydance Media. In case you're wondering, yes, I'm referring to Skydance that hired two men accused of harassment. Fun times we're living in. Initially, the deal fell apart when Shari Redstone, owner of parent company National Amusements, thought she wasn't getting paid enough from it, so they looked to other candidates like Warner Bros. And Sony, which would have led to absolutely catastrophic results, so they went back to Skydance, and now National Amusements will be the one to merge with the company to form New Paramount. I have never been so pissed off by a logo in my life. I've been hearing some people say this was the best case scenario considering, well, again, the previous deals. And while I do understand their perspective, I think a better case scenario would be for none of this shit to happen at all. Let me remind you, this is a corporate merger in the entertainment industry, meaning more people are gonna lose their jobs. Shows in some movies in production are gonna get abruptly cancelled. Content will be erased entirely for a tax write-off. And some divisions of the company are either gonna be sold off with some of the same repercussions, or at worst shut down entirely. That's bad. Mergers are bad. I don't have to be explaining this to you like you're 7 years old. And if you're still not convinced, the official plans in a leaked PowerPoint call for, and I'm not kidding, generative AI. And as it sounds, this doesn't just mean using it for data, but with them using the word creativity, they're gonna try and insert this shit into Paramount's movies and shows as if there wasn't a whole strike over a year ago to prevent this from happening. Win for the industry, my ass. I better not hear the people who are praising this merger cry about it years later when the news breaks that Paramount has gone under. Well, there is actually a silver lining in that the deal has been facing some legal hurdles, so the possibility of it going through is becoming slimmer. But as always, we'll have to wait and see. The FTC didn't stop Disney from buying Fox and Warner Bros. Discovery from erasing itself.
Justice, am I right?
If it does go through, however, I can't imagine it will result in anything good. I mean, they'll be screwed regardless, but Paramount getting through their downfall solo can't be any worse than being swallowed up by another big conglomerate. Nothing good comes from them, and if you try to argue otherwise, I think you should take one good look at the mirror and rethink your life choices. I don't know how else to end this segment other than to say I really hate John Lasseter. And so, with the recent output across film and TV that's lacking alongside bad marketing, a clunky nothing burger of a streaming service, and the merger that is looking to smash everything to pieces, Paramount is struggling. Or at least that's a nice way of putting it. Paramount's current situation is pretty terrible, and if they don't change course soon, they're most likely going to enter a point of no return to where recovery is just improbable. And while I obviously don't want to say that nobody cares, the lack of discussion surrounding their situation compared to the likes of their competitors is not only depressing, but it also shows just how much this company has shot themselves in the foot in recent years to where they're now pretty much irrelevant. And the hard truth is, it's gonna take more than some billion-dollar hits and big IPs to save them from this disaster. I don't expect this video to automatically give Paramount more attention or anything, but at the very least, I hope to shed a little more light on what's been going on with them, because from the looks of it, it's not looking good. As of right now, it's unknown how much longer Paramount Global is gonna be around, but until then, it's only a matter of time before the mountain collapses. Until next time, I'm Miyachi. See you later, Tama friends.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an